one of the things that has been placed on black men from black women is that we hate them, that we do not love them, we do not want to protect them at any cost, right? But for what I've been understanding about brothers, especially in this sector and not in this sector and whatever, is that we love our black women, but sometimes we get disappointed in how they act. We get disappointed in how they attack other black men. We get disappointed in how they're not taking care of their children. We're disappointed in that they're not living up to their expectations as far as being the nurturers of the society that we live in. And everything is under a false gaze to say that they're doing what they need to do, but when you look at the statistics, they're not. And that's the disappointment that brothers are seeing, because we're seeing this day in and day out. I see it day in and day out with my family. I'm disappointed in my sister because she didn't take a more proactive choice in her children's education. I'm disappointed in my sister because she chose a man over her kids. She kicked both of her kids out when they were in high school. Both her kids do not even have a high school education. I'm disappointed in my niece because she's living up with a man that does not have a job. That she can control him, and she's struggling when I know she could be so much better than what she is. She could have a man in her life who's productive, but she chooses to deal with a lowlife who can't do anything for her. I'm disappointed in some of the women that I worked with because they have overstepped their bounds and prostituted themselves into the upper management just so they can get a leg up. You know, it's just disappointment after disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. And I'm wondering, like, is this just how you guys operate? Because when I was younger, I was taught that you guys didn't operate this way. I was taught that, you guys were honorable. You guys were ladies. You guys didn't act this way, and if it was just a very small few. But when I started to work and started to go out into this world, I realized that wasn't true. So there was a lot of women that I was just disappointed in. It's like, I couldn't believe that you were doing this. I can't believe that you're saying this. I can't believe that you don't have your men's back, your brother's back, just because he's a man. I couldn't believe when I had a friend that I used to go to church with say the stuff that she was saying. It was like a huge disappointment. I've always been disappointed by the women. It's not to say that I wasn't disappointed by some men, but the women were more of a greater disappointment because they were supposed to be the women that were supposed to help protect the community. Those are the women that were supposed to make sure that we were good. Those are the women that were supposed to nurture us. And it comes to find out that they don't even want to nurture black men. They don't want to nurture the community. They don't even want to nurture their kids. It's all about self. It's all about themselves. Like, I was with a child that I was mentoring, and I brought him over a house, and I was trusted to take everybody out on a date and mentor the date, right? The little girl's mother wasn't even there. She went on a date. So I pretty much had to chaperone, didn't have a talk with the mother beforehand to see what time she wanted me to bring the kids back. Didn't know anything about the kids from the mother and all this other stuff, right? They had any allergies or anything like that. But I chaperoned, I did what I needed to do, and I just told my friend, like, listen, in order for me to do this again, her mother needs to be there. Because I want her mother to know who I am. How in the hell are you going to leave your kids alone with a stranger? Because I never met her before. Anything could have happened to her daughter. And for her to sit there and just say like, oh, they're fine because, whatever. That's not okay with me. I was uneasy on that whole entire thing to make sure that their kids came back safe. And I told him, do not put me in that situation again. Because if anything would have happened, that would have been my ass on the fire. And then the cops would have been searching for me. And I've seen this time and time again where you have these mothers who have these daughters or sons and they just leave them home alone to go do their own thing. And they're not really raising their children. They're letting everything else raise their children because when they get to a certain age, they think, well, they can fend for themselves. I'm going to go out and have fun. Guess what? Your kids need you to be home. Yeah, it sucks that you can't go out on dates and stuff like that like you want to. But guess what? If that guy doesn't understand that, then you don't need to be with him. That's your responsibility for your children to be there. And that's what disappoints me that a lot of these females are doing. It disappoints me that a lot of these females are putting these men on child support who all they want to do is just see their kids. It disappoints me of all the actions that these females have been doing over the past couple of years. And that's what makes me sad about it. It's like, you're a disappointment. I'm not mad at you. I don't hate you. But you're a disappointment. Because I thought higher of you. And you have proved me wrong. And what can you say about that? Can you say you're sorry? No, you can't. Because you have shown me that I should not hold you in a higher regard. I should hold you where you're at. This is Art. I'm out.